So, you're a big FNAF fan that has just bought the VR game for your headset. Well, you may have come to find out that the mechanics of the VR version actually differ from the standard game's format. So I'm here to give you a tutorial on how to beat the game, with this video focusing on FNAF 1. We'll begin with how you should start the game, followed by a rundown of all the animatronics, and then end with how a night should look with all the tips combined. So without further ado, let's begin. An important thing to know before starting any night in this office is that turning off the fan by pressing the buttons on the front will help a lot with listening to audio cues. Muting the phone guy is also optional, with just the press of the red button. Now that we've taken care of the environment, we can move on to the actual threats. Bonnie and Chica are fairly similar, but we'll talk about them separately. Bonnie moves through cams 1B, 5, 3, 2A, and 2B respectively. Whenever he gets close, you'll hear footsteps on your left. And while he is walking past you, you could just barely see his feet shuffle across your doorway. This isn't a sign to close the door just yet, but looking directly at the walking animation will trigger the animatronic to turn to you and attack you, so make sure only to peek at them through the corner of your vision. Once he's walked past you, the next footsteps will likely be toward your door. You will note to shut the door when you see his giant purple feet standing right before the doorway. The final step of the process is waiting for him to leave. Though you might feel clever at first to just phase your head through the door and see if he's still there, unfortunately, the game has a measurement for that, in the form of force sending Foxy down your hall to kill you. So instead, you shall simply lean your body forward a bit to check if his hand is still visible through the window, and when it's gone, you can open the door again. Like I said, Chica is similar. Wait for her footsteps, watch her cross out of the corner of your vision, close the door when she appears, and then wait for her to leave. But I suppose there are a few minor differences. Chica moves through cams 1B, 7, 6, 4A, and 4B respectively. When on the defective cam 6, Chica will make banging pot noises to give away her location. Once she has reached your office, she will appear at the window rather than the doorway. This makes things easier for knowing when she is gone. Also, notice how you don't actually need to use the lights for anything. This skill will be a big power saver for later. Next is Foxy. His character is quite different. All of his movements take place on cam 1C, going from a closed curtain, to leaving the curtain, to the curtain being empty. When the curtain is empty, you will have a few seconds before he begins running down your hall to kill you. You can simply stop him by closing the left door. I assume he slows down when you have your camera on him, but it seems he moves pretty fast regardless. When the curtain is empty, the best protocol is to hold your hand above the door button and press it right as you hear the running sound effect begin. Opening camera 2A skips the attack waiting period, but I try to postpone Foxy's attack as much as possible, so I believe milking the timer is the best strategy. The last animatronic you have to worry about is Freddy. Freddy moves along the same path as Chica, but every time he moves, a laughing sound plays. And he can't skip certain cameras like Bonnie and Chica often do. When he appears on cam 4B, it means he's one laugh away from approaching your office. So make sure to switch from 1C to 4B for a split second periodically. When he is at your office, you will vaguely be able to see his feet at the doorway. And upon closing the door, you won't be opening it again for the rest of the night. That's right. By the time he is at your office, he doesn't move. And from that point on, you will only focus on the left door. Alright. Now that you know all the game's mechanics, let's see how we use them all on the hardest night. Alright, we're going into night 5 here. I'm going to show what it looks like using all the tips in one night. So the first thing I do is turn this off because it's just a bunch of jargon. Probably like change my player's height and then turn off the fan. Alright, and then switch on the cameras and keep the cameras on cam 1C. There's the first laugh. That means that Freddy should be right here. You can faintly see him right here. Oh, I heard using. Alright, that animation means that I need to turn off that left light, because basically when all that happens, it'll leave this light on, and so I have to shut it off as soon as possible. I think I'm good. That should be Chica on that right. There she goes. Foxy's almost out of his coat. And I can barely see Chica right there. We know that Freddy is now in cam 6 because it's playing the little carnival music. Just checking cam 4B to make sure. And Foxy left. So. Boom. So now I'm alternating from looking at this hallway because Bonnie's gonna be there, and looking at this door because Chica's there. Alright, now that she's gone, I can look here. Freddy's still here, but I need to make sure to listen to that laugh because it's gonna be at my door in a second. I can still see his hand, so I'm not opening that door just yet. And he's gone. So now I'm waiting for Freddy to basically show himself here. Alright, now he should be at my door, so we're gonna close that door. So basically now we're just shifting from this, looking at this camera and looking here. Bonnie's right here. So, okay, well, that's just perfect actually. Oh my gosh. Sorry you caught me off guard. Alright, now that Bonnie's at my door. Nope, okay, still a sticker. I'm shifting from looking at Foxy to seeing his hand. And this is all really easy with the fan off. Bonnie's gone, so I can open that door again. Alright, now he's gone. So now basically we're waiting, and then when he starts running... Oh, never mind! Usually, I'll run out of power because Foxy will come one last time and drain it all away, but then, since Freddy's attack takes so long to like complete when your power is out, I'll usually get 6 AM then. So anyways, make sure to remind me if there's anything that I missed about my rundown of the game, and feel free to ask any questions in the comments. If there is anything brought to my attention, I'll try to change the description. Until then, my next video will probably be on how to beat FNAF 2, but yeah, that's kind of it. I hope you enjoyed this fire post from the Biggie Smalls gaming channel, and let me know if you guys want to see any other types of videos on this joint. Until then, stay Bumble collectimized. I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one. Oh, nice! You saw that, right?